Hi everyone, we are in a very special moment. We are coming up to the Shabbos before Pesach. Means we're getting very close to the holiday of Pesach. And as we call this Shabbos, it's called Shabbat Agadol, a great Shabbos. And as we know that why is it called a great Shabbos? Because a great miracle happened to Am Yisrael at this particular Shabbos. What was the miracle? As we know that the Jews, everyone got himself a lamb in his house, and the Egyptians asked what it is, and the Jewish people told them that we are going to do the Korban Pesach at the 14th day of the month, and the firstborn Egyptians will be killed by God. That's going to be the plague number 10, Makat Bechorot. And as we know the story, the firstborn Egyptians took it very, very serious, and they went severely to fight for the Jews to get out of Egypt, self-understood, for saving their own lives. As we know the story, and that's the miracle of Shabbat HaGadol. But one thing, there's something very interesting about this story, that why suddenly, and this last plague, that's what the Egyptians, the firstborn Egyptians, get so excited, so involved, so caring, and so much trying to do and fighting, really a real battle, fighting for the Jews coming out of Egypt. There was many plagues before, and they knew about it, and they were warned about it. And before they didn't do anything, and after they didn't do anything, that didn't seem like the Egyptians were very, very involved in carrying and fighting for the Jews coming out of Egypt. We hardly find any reaction from the people. Why suddenly at this plague, not only they didn't wait for after, because the plagues before, even after the plague, even the suffered and everything, they still didn't do anything about it. They still didn't say, okay, enough is enough, let the Jews get out. They didn't do anything. At this plague, just by hearing, it didn't happen yet, just by being told by the Jews that it's going to happen, they suddenly went out completely to fight for the Jewish people to get out of Egypt. What initiated by them so much, but this plague, that they became so involved to help the Jews get out of Egypt? And the explanation isn't short, and it's a very deep lesson. There could be simple explanations too. There's many different explanations probably, but one very, very interesting and very deep point and a tremendous lesson we can learn from that. And the idea is, when the Jews took this lamb, as we call it, the Paschal lamb, at this Shabbos, that was the 10th day of the month, as we know the story. For the Jews was a moment of Mesiras Nefesh. As we know that the lamb, this was the idol of the Egyptians. And there was what to be scared of, that the Egyptians will not take it well, but the Jews take their idol and tie it to their bed. And as we know that the Mesiras Nefesh before God gave the Torah was not obligation. They didn't have to do it. But nevertheless, every Jew, without exception, they accepted the law, they went and they got the lamb, and they knew that they may be risking their life. But Hashem said, they went and they did it. Mesirut Nefesh, completely not caring about their own life, but their own self. They knew they have to do it. And as I said before, it's not so clear if they were obligated to go Mesirut Nefesh at that moment, but they still went and they did it. And not only they did it, they were so excited about it that when the Egyptians came to ask them what they're doing, in a passionate way, they said and they explained that this is what it is. We are doing it because this is what Hashem wants. And that's the reason, at this moment, when the Egyptians hear this from the Jews, they're taking it so serious. Because when a Jew does something with his full heart, with his full Mesirut Nefesh, with his full devotion to Hashem, to the cause, the impact is tremendous. And right away the Egyptians just hear the story from the Jews. They're already being affected, and they're going to do something about it. And that's the difference between this time and the times before. The times before, yeah, there was plagues, but we didn't see the enthusiasm of Am Yisrael being so devoted. At this one, the Egyptians see the Mesirat Nefesh of the Jews to the mitzvah of Hashem. This has the impact on them. Wow, we got to do something about it. We got to do something that you should get out of Egypt. When they went and they fought for it and they got killed for it. What does this give us a lesson? We got to do, but in a way that complete devotion, in a way that completely become a conduit with Hashem. Even it takes Mesiras Nefesh. And if we do it in this way, the effect and the impact is tremendous. I just wanted to share, because we just had a big story this week about the great miracle of the two girls that were lost on Shabbos in the forest. On a big miracle they were found. Not getting into the details, we all know that story. And I just heard yesterday something tremendous about it. That in one of the towns, one of the villages, or one of the outskirts in that area, in the Lubavitch community, they decided that they're going to go for search. As we know, everybody was trying to help to search and find those two girls. So they announced in the shul, I guess if I know the story clear, they announced in the shul that after Shabbos, they will, can be Shabbos, maybe it was after Shabbos they announced, I don't know the details exactly, but they made the announcement that whoever wants to help in the search, there's going to be a van going that direction, and they're going to help find the girls. The van was waiting outside the shul, and volunteers came to go do the mitzvah of searching for the two girls. And the story goes, as they're waiting for the people, there was one man coming up to the van with a wheelchair. Can't walk, is a wheelchair. And the driver looks at him like, what is he going to tell him? He's coming with a wheelchair to help for the search. So, but he's rolling himself up to the van. So the driver finally tells him, you know, sir, it's going to be a little tough for you. First of all, my van doesn't take wheelchairs. I'm not good at that. You need a special van for that. And second, what are you going to do there? How could you search? So the fellow answered, that's a beautiful point. He said, I heard they're looking for volunteers to do the search for the girls. I know what I can and I know what I can't do. But what I can do is at least I tried to come with my wheelchair until the van. I do my part. Whatever I can do, I can do. But my part, I'm doing it fully. I'm not going to say that this made the miracle be. I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a rabbi. I can only say, when there is a Jew does things with a complete devotion, with a complete Mesirat Nefesh, the impact is tremendous. And that's the story of Shabbat HaGadol. But the Mesirat Nefesh of Am Yisrael, they didn't care what Egyptians going to say, what's going to be the effect, or Named they're going to be. They said, we're going to do what Hashem wants, whatever it takes. This gave such an impact. It made such effect to the Egyptians. They themselves turned around and they went to the fight for our Jews. Let's learn from this story. Let's be the same. Let's do everything ad Mesirat Nefesh for Hashem, in every mitzvah, in every good deed, completely, without any calculations. And the results will be great. Once the result will be great, Mashiach will come. Every self all, a good Shabbos and a good Shabbos HaGadol.